Hello and welcome to another episode of Spiraken's Mini Movie Review. I'm your host Xan, saying konnichiwa, aloha, buongiorno, and what's up?
Hey, it's Greta.
And we're back again for another fun-filled mini movie review, our podcast where we talk about new and recent movies and we tell you our initial thoughts about it, while trying to be as spoiler-free as possible. If you want to check out any of our early episodes, you can check them out at
www.spiraken.com.
We're also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, and various other social media sites. Just type in Spiraken in the search bar, and I'll guarantee you'll find us one way or another. And if you enjoy what we do, support our Patreon and help us create more fun content for you to enjoy, with tons of rewards for you depending on the tier you choose. Check it out. And now that's out of the way, let's actually get to our review, because we're talking about a new film that came out yesterday on March 11th, 2022. And wasn't it so cuddly?
It was so cuddly.
And also really, you had the feels for it.
Yeah, it was very relatable.
Not as much for me, but for you. I mean, I get some of it, but you got definitely more into it and understood it much more.
Yes.
But let's get into some basics behind this film that we're talking about. So, this movie was directed by Domee Shi, who created the Disney short Bao, which is kind of a disturbing story.
But very cute.
Because that's the one where she makes a little dumpling and it comes alive and it's her son, and then she ends up
She
eating.
takes care of it and then she eats it.
And then that's really kind of creepy.
She killed her son.
No, but the son shows up later. It's a representation, but whatever. So, yeah. So she kind of went in the vein of same thing where it's about parents, mothers and children, in the same way in this story. And
More specific, the Bao was mother-son. This one's mother-daughter.
Yes. And this one is a Pixar and Disney release, so we get that nice digital quality. And I've got to admit, for a Pixar movie, this one looks very different than all the other films. It looks similar to a little like Raya, but it's more circular, kind of like how Stitch didn't use any right angles. This kind of did the same thing where it feels like it's more safe.
It feels like it's more safe. But there are right angles.
There are, but it's not as prominent as some of the other Disney films. Like, look at the classic Cinderella, comparatively. This one feels more chunky.
Yes.
All the buildings, all the stuff feels more. But maybe that's what they wanted to go for. It's also kind of the same style as Over the Moon, which is that Netflix film. But I digress. So this movie ran at 100 minutes. This was a quick film. Did it feel like it dragged?
No.
No. And originally this film was going to be released in 2021 in theaters, but due to COVID-19 and the Omicron variant, they changed it to Disney Plus release, so you can watch it at home right now. And what is the movie that we're talking about?
Turning Red.
Yes, Turning Red, which is based on Domee Shi's experiences in Toronto when she was 15 years old. But this isn't her. This is a different character, and the character is actually younger. But this is her kind of life story, I think. Maybe she's dealing with her issues with her mom?
Or lots of things.
So what would you say the basic plot of this story is?
It's a coming-of-age story for young girls.
Yeah, definitely.
It's that transition time from being your mom's best little friend, little helper, to becoming your own woman. And it's very much about getting your period. Can I say that?
Yeah, you can, because they actually do bring up the fact, but they're very subtle about it. It's the first film that they bring up a lot of things that you wouldn't expect in Disney films. Like, they talk about, one, hey, has the peony blossomed? And then the mom and the
dad goes like running away.
And the mom immediately has everything set to go. She has all the stuff. She has stuff for headaches, stuff for pain, and stuff for
pads.
Yeah, they have pads. Which I'm like, wait, what? And it's pretty good that it covers it. It doesn't kind of shy away from it. But this one's also really dealing with that.
And the dad he's not a deadbeat dad. He's a very sweet dad. And you see him, like, he's the main cook, and he's making, like, killer Chinese food. And he seems really sweet. And then he's like, oh, no, she's not doing well. I better come and help, too. Wait, what? What are we talking about? Poof, gone.
No, at first I love that she's like, oh, well, he's like, a box of Tim Hortons donut holes. No, you can't touch those. And then she's like, what the hell? And he's just stealing them slowly.
Only when she's not looking. That's such a dad move.
Because she's the boss. He's the emotional support of the family. She's the boss of the family. Which is
highly appropriate.
And it's her dealing, and it's the main character dealing with this situation of where you think it's this, but no, it's the fact is she turns into a big red panda because of a family curse.
But it's also a mother's coming of age movie dealing with your child growing up.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like Bao.
No, it is. It's you have to learn to let go and move forward, and that's what it goes with. But it goes through this whole story of that May, it's not, May's having her period. No, it's May turns into a giant panda.
She starts to like boys.
Mm-hmm.
She's got her core friend group who now means so much to her.
They mean more than her family, and then because she's hiding all this and dealing with this while pretending to be the perfect daughter for her mother, all this stress just makes her turn into this giant monster, who is the red panda that is apparently a curse from her ancestor, or a blessing if you want to look at it. And she has to deal with the fact that she's now a giant panda monster for a month, and they may fix it in 1 month's time.
She has to learn how to deal with it. She has 1 month to learn how to deal with it.
It's one part
so that she can control it. And oh my goodness, as a female, like if that's not relatable, I don't know what is.
But it doesn't last an entire month of rah, rah.
No, but when you first get it, that's when you start, like, all of your hormones start going crazy. That's when you start, like, having to learn how to deal with all of that. And then before you know it, you're getting your period again.
Yeah. And it's her dealing with this while the fact is her mom's like, this is a family curse. We can get rid of it. It'll be fine. And May having to choose between getting rid of this and no longer dealing with the fact that whenever she gets excited, she turns into a giant monster. Or not monster. He's just a cuddly, super strong red panda. Or she can keep it and deal with her hormones being her constantly having to be in control of herself at all times, thinking about it and just not focusing on the stuff.
But when you think about it, when you get those flush of hormones and you're getting those actions and you all of a sudden you don't know why you're so angry and you can't help it, but you have to control it. Like, it's so relatable.
It is a bit relatable.
I mean, some people get their period in 6th grade. This would have been a great film to just watch then.
It also deals with the fact that she's growing up, and this happens for men and women. It's guys go through the mood swings, go through changes. You know, a couple of things happen, which is kind of, I don't want to lose the rating on this, so I got to be a little censored, but your hair starts growing in places, your voice changes, you get taller, stinkier.
And stinky.
And also you have mood swings, and you're prone to anger, and testosterone's coming in, and people, girls aren't inky.
But this is not about boys. This movie is about girls.
No, it is about girls, and it's about the mother-daughter relationship, because you have this protective mother who wants her daughter to be her best friend, and she's dealing with the fact that she has issues as well. And the climax of this, we're not going to spoil. This is trying to be spoiler light. I mean, most of this has been revealed in the trailers and in the few clips that were released, so nothing else we're going to really talk about this. But you've got an amazing cast doing this, let's say. Because starring is Hyein Lee, the main character May, is Rosalie Chiang, and she does a great job conveying this girl who's like, I'm perfect, I'm fine, everything's great, I'm mom's little helper, I do this, she's my best friend. And then suddenly she's like, Mom, no, please don't show the boy that my pictures that I drew, no! Or the kid who makes fun of her and just the anger of, I'm going to kill him, he did this and I'm going to just kill him.
Yeah.
Or her crying because she said, she's like, I'm a big scary monster.
Yes.
And it's surprising. I don't know if this is her first work, but she's a great voice actress, and I'd like to see her do more stuff.
Yes.
Agreed. Then we have playing Ming Li, her mother, we have Sandra Oh, who is not a stranger to the Disney World.
She did an awesome job. I love me some Sandra Oh.
She sounds a little different in this one, because I'm used to her in Princess Diaries, Mulan 2, Over the Moon. She was in Raya, Sideways. where she has that more aggressive and angry voice. In this one, she's more controlled and focused.
But there's an anger and a power behind that controlled, focused voice.
To quote you when we were watching it, she has that tiger mom situation going on where she's just like very to the point, and when she's angry, it's that direct like, no, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? My daughter wouldn't do this. You did this.
Yep.
Not angry.
I feel like Sandra Oh might have been able to pull on some personal history on that to really channel the right, I don't know, feelings. She nailed it.
No, she totally nailed it. Then you have Orion Lee as Jin Lee, the father. He does a good job. It's just the dad who's kind of dealing with this situation. He is obviously...
He's so sweet.
His wife tells him to jump. He jumps. When the grandmother shows up, he's like, yes, whatever you say.
He's like, yes, sir, ma'am.
But he's still the emotional core. He loves his daughter, loves his family, and he's there for them. And he does a great job. I like the fact that the majority of this cast is Asian. It's also an all-female crew that did this. It's really well done. It's just something different, and I feel this is a love letter to growing up.
You can tell it was an all-female crew. These women got it. They understood the assignment.
A couple of other people in this film. You had Wai Ching Ho as Wu Li, who's Mei's grandmother and Ming's mother. You have James Hong in this as Mr. Gao. Immediately, I knew it was him when I heard the voice. I'm like, that's James Hong. I'm glad he's still doing work because he is a great voice actor and a great actor. From Big Trouble in Little China to now, he's been one of my favorites. You have Tristan Allerick as Tyler, who is a little snot.
But you find out why he's a little snot later.
No, he's just a little snot. It's not the whole, I'm this. No, he's just a little snot. He's the kid that would be a bully, but he's having, you want to beat him up because he's a little jerk. Then you have Mai's squad, her besties. You have Miriam, played by Ava Morse. You have Priya, played by Maitreyi Ramakrishnan. And then you have Hyein Park as Abby. And these are, at that age, your friends are your social unit. They're the people you want to spend all your time with because they're your unit. They're the people you're with.
They're the ones who you make secret pacts with.
And, you tell them the emotional things. You don't tell your parents that you like this person. You say, I like, I'm fine. I'm just me. But then you tell all your secrets to your friends because they're your friends. And
they captured, every friend group in it. There's, the emo girl. There's the one that's a little too hyped up. They captured it all.
The best friend. And it's a really well done film. And overall, it's one which I recommend seeing. It does something really different. In over 85 years of Disney films, this is the first one that addresses this topic.
And you know what? I think it's still fun for boys. They're not going to get it as much. They'll get the awkwardness when she's talking about her flower blooming and things like that. But
they'll get the whole... They won't get that. That's over their head. I know that because you explained that to me. But they're going to get the fact that mom embarrasses them. The fact that, the
friend group.
The friend group. They'll get the fact that they're changing and they feel weird about it.
And they'll love the giant panda.
Yes, the giant pandas that destroy things. And it's kind of like how Teen Wolf was kind of an allegory for puberty for boys. This is kind of that for girls, but this is done a little more nuanced, and I like a lot of the elements to it. The introduction of the boy band group Four Town
was so awesome.
It's a little weird, especially for now, but it makes sense.
Why is that weird for now? That was awesome.
Because there are boy bands like that now. Like, you could say BTS, but besides BTS, there wasn't that. In 2000, boy bands were NSYNC, Backstreet Boys. All these groups were there. 98 Degrees. That was that time period, and it feels like it's stuck in a period which fits so well for that, because this is also
but they still have K-pop is huge now.
K-pop is huge, but
these kids, that's their boy band.
I will digress. I'll say I will say I agree.
Old man, it's K-pop now. Get with it.
But this is a movie.
This is 20 years later.
A lot of stuff. It does. It's 20 years later, and the fact that she said it in that time, it shows how important it is to her, because she said she's 15. There's also a documentary on Disney Plus about the making of, which I highly recommend. It's 40 minutes long, and it talks about all the nuances behind this, and it shows how this was a love letter to all that and all the little elements that you don't expect. I have to give this our highest rating. Really, really, really cool. This is definitely worth watching, definitely worth checking out. It's a unique film for Pixar and for Disney, especially because in the 85 years since Disney started, they have never touched upon this before, this topic in such a way. I will say it's a little bit aggressive in some points, but that's how it goes when you're that age. Things are a little more aggressive. Feelings are a little more
pronounced.
Yeah. And I know I'm being enigmatic, but I don't want to be like some people say, yeah, this is this type of film. It's like, this is a little amorous. But there's no love interest in it. This is just kind of like an unrequited. This is the, oh, boys aren't icky anymore. Boys are interesting.
No, it's like your first crush.
But it wasn't just one boy, though. It was multiple boys. Like, oh.
Oh, yeah. Girls get boy crazy.
Yeah, this is she's getting boy crazy.
This is the boy crazy phase.
But you see that it develops. At first, she's like, why are you guys doing this? This makes no sense. And then once she turns, it's suddenly, boys.
Yeah, but you can't make, like, all of a sudden that doesn't happen to guys.
No, it doesn't. It happens to guys. It's just, well, a little bit different. A little different. But worth watching. Check it out. I enjoy it. What are your thoughts? Do you agree? You give it a lower rating?
Yeah, I cried. No, I 100% agree. Stop what you're doing and go watch it now.
Yeah, that's your thoughts. If you've seen Turning Red, what are your thoughts? Let us know. Email us, spiraken@gmail.com or xanspiraken.com. Stay tuned for some other reviews. We've got a bunch of other movies to talk about. There's the Adam Project coming out. And check out our other reviews at spiraken.com. As usual,
I'm Greta.
I'm Xan. We're Gonzville. Catch you guys next time, and keep watching movies. See you later.